You know what is crazy? My neighbor Sarah and her husband both got promotions last year. They're both pulling in solid salaries now, way more than her parents ever made combined. But last month, when her car needed a $1,200 repair, she had to put it on a credit card. She looked at me with this exhausted expression and said, "Bob, we make more money than ever, but we're more broke than when we were just starting out." Sound familiar? Here is the thing that keeps me up at night. We've been sold this massive lie that two incomes equal twice the financial security, but the reality for millions of families. Two incomes have actually created twice the vulnerability. You are working harder, earning more, and somehow ending up with less breathing room than your parents had on a single paycheck. If that doesn't make you angry, it should. Hey guys, I am Bob, and I've spent years obsessing over why smart, hardworking people keep falling into the same financial traps. I've analyzed thousands of household budgets, talked to families drowning in debt despite good incomes, and discovered patterns that nobody's talking about. I share these insights because I genuinely believe you deserve to understand the game before you can win it. If this resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. I've got so much more to share with you, and trust me, this stuff can genuinely change your financial life. Let me introduce you to what I call the two-income trap. And no, I didn't invent this concept. But I am going to show you exactly how it is draining your bank account right now. Here is the core idea. When families went from one income to two incomes over the past few decades, something bizarre happened. Instead of having twice the financial cushion, families started spending as if two incomes were the baseline requirement. The housing market adjusted. The car industry adjusted. Childcare costs exploded. Everything recalibrated to absorb that second income. What does this mean for you? It means that second salary isn't bonus money anymore. It is not security. It is the only thing standing between you and financial disaster. And the moment one person loses their job, gets sick, or needs to take care of a family member, the whole house of cards collapses. You are not building wealth with two incomes. You are barely treading water, and you don't even realize you are in the deep end. Let me show you exactly how this plays out in real life. Take housing. Back in 1970, the median home price was roughly twice the median household income. A single earner could reasonably afford a home. Fast forward to today, and that ratio has exploded to nearly 6 times the median household income in many cities. But here is the kicker. Lenders now automatically factor in two incomes when determining how much house you can afford. They look at your combined $120,000 household income and tell you that you can afford a $500,000 mortgage. Sounds great, right? Wrong. Because now you need both incomes just to make the mortgage payment. When your grandparents bought their house on one income, that second potential income was a safety net. If something went wrong, the spouse could enter the workforce. You had options. Today, you've already spent that option before you even faced an emergency. You are locked in, and there is no backup plan. Let's talk about the Johnson family. Mark and Jennifer both work full-time. Mark makes $65,000 as a project manager. Jennifer makes $55,000 as a teacher. Combined, they're bringing in $120,000 a year. They should be comfortable, right? They bought a modest home for $420,000 with a monthly mortgage payment of $2,800. They need 2 cars because they both commute, so that is another $850 a month in car payments and insurance. Their 2 kids are in daycare while they work, costing them $2,400 a month. Before we even get to food, utilities, and healthcare, they're spending $50 a month, which is over $72,000 a year. After taxes, their actual take-home pay is closer to $85,000. Subtract those fixed costs, and they've got about $13,000 left for everything else. Food, utilities, phone bills, internet, clothing, medical expenses, car repairs, and hopefully some savings. That is roughly $1,083 a month for a family of 4 to cover everything else. 1 medical emergency, 1 job loss, 1 major car repair, and they're drowning in credit card debt. Now compare this to Jennifer's parents back in 1985. Her dad made $35,000 a year as a factory supervisor. Her mom stayed home with the kids. Their house cost $68,000 with a monthly payment of about $650. They had 1 car payment of $220 a month. No daycare costs because mom was home. Their fixed costs were under $11,000 a year. After taxes, they had about $28,000 in take-home pay, leaving them roughly $17,000 for everything else. See the difference? On paper, Mark and Jennifer make way more money. Adjusted for inflation, they're earning nearly double what Jennifer's parents made, but they actually have less financial flexibility, less savings, and way more stress. And here is the really scary part. Jennifer's mom was the safety net. When Jennifer's dad got laid off for 3 months in 1987, her mom took a part-time job at a department store. It wasn't great money, but it kept them afloat. Mark and Jennifer don't have that option. They're already all in. Both incomes are spoken for before the month even begins. Here is another example that really drives this home. Let's talk about childcare. When both parents work, childcare becomes non-negotiable. The average cost of full-time daycare in the United States is about $1.200 per month per child. For 2 kids, that is $2,400 a month or $28,800 a year. Now, let's say one parent makes $45,000 a year. After taxes, that is roughly $34,000 in take-home pay subtract childcare, and they're netting $5,200 a year. Add in commuting costs, work clothes, eating lunch out, and the second car you need for that job, and you might actually be losing money by working. But you can't quit because the mortgage was approved based on 2 incomes. The car loans assumed 2 incomes. Your entire lifestyle is built on 2 incomes. You are trapped in a job that is barely breaking even because walking away would mean losing the house. That is the trap. You are not working to get ahead. You are working to stay in place, and falling behind feels like it is just one bad month away. Now I know what you are thinking. Bob, this is depressing, but what am I supposed to do? I can't just quit my job and magically cut my housing costs in half. You are right, and I am not suggesting you make drastic, irresponsible moves. But I'm saying you need to understand the trap you are in before you can start building a way out. Let me address some of the pushback I usually get. First, objection. But Bob, 2 incomes do provide more security. If one person loses their job, we still have the other income. I hear you, but let's be real. If you've structured your entire life around needing both incomes, losing one is catastrophic. You are not more secure. You are more exposed. Real security comes from living below your means, not maximizing them. Your grandparents on 1 income had actual flexibility. You on 2 incomes have the illusion of security. Second objection. What about career fulfillment? Are you saying one parent should just stay home? Absolutely not. I am not making a moral argument about who should work or stay home. I am making a financial argument about understanding the trap. If both partners want to work, that is fantastic. But structure your finances as if you are living on 1 income and banking the other. Don't let the market absorb that second paycheck before you even see it. Third objection. This sounds impossible in today's economy. Housing is expensive everywhere. You are not wrong, but that is exactly why you need to be strategic. The trap is real, but it is not inescapable. You just need to stop playing by rules that were designed to keep you broke. So what can you actually do about this? Let me give you concrete steps you can start implementing today. First, run the real numbers on your household. Sit down this weekend and calculate exactly how much of your combined income is locked into fixed costs that require both incomes to maintain. Your mortgage or rent, car payments, childcare, insurance. Add it up. If that number is over 60% of your combined take-home pay, you are in the trap. You need to acknowledge that before you can address it. Second, start making financial decisions as if you are a 1-income household. I know this sounds radical, but hear me out. When you are looking at buying a house, don't ask what you qualify for based on 2 incomes. Ask what you could afford on just the lower of the 2 incomes. Yes, this means buying less house. Yes, this means living in a less trendy neighborhood. But it also means you have actual financial security instead of just the appearance of it. If one person loses their job or wants to switch careers or needs to care for a family member, you are not immediately facing foreclosure. Third, attack your fixed costs aggressively. This is where you have the most leverage. Can you refinance your mortgage to a lower rate? Can you sell one car A? D. Figure out carpooling or public transit? Can you move closer to work to eliminate a commute? I know a couple who realized they were spending $600 a month on gas and car maintenance for their commutes. They moved to a smaller apartment that cost $400 more per month, but was walking distance from both their jobs. They sold one car, eliminated the commute, and actually came out $500 ahead every month while reducing their stress dramatically. Fourth, build a real emergency fund based on your fixed costs, not some percentage of income. Financial experts love to say you need 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. But what does that actually mean? It means if you lost one income, you could cover all your fixed costs for 3 to 6 months without that paycheck. For most two-income families, this number is way higher than they think. If your fixed costs are $5,000 a month, you need $15,000 to $30,000 in an emergency fund. That sounds impossible, I know. But start somewhere. Even $1,000 gives you more breathing room than most families have. Fifth, invest in reducing future fixed costs. This is the move nobody talks about. Every dollar you spend reducing a recurring expense is worth way more than a dollar saved once. Pay off your car early and you eliminate a $400 monthly payment forever. Invest in energy-efficient appliances and you cut your utility bills permanently. These aren't sexy moves, but they're what actually builds financial security. You are buying back your flexibility, your options. Your ability to make choices that aren't driven by desperation. Here is the thing, guys. The two-income trap is real. It is massive, and it is affecting millions of families who are doing everything right according to conventional wisdom. You went to school, got good jobs, bought a reasonable house, and somehow you are still stressed about money. It is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to understand the game and stop playing by rules that were designed to keep you trapped. Your parents' generation could build wealth on one income because they had flexibility. You are making more money than they ever dreamed of, but you've sacrificed all your flexibility to get it. The good news? Once you see the trap, you can start making different choices. You can start building real security instead of just the appearance of it. This isn't about going backward or giving up on progress. It is about being smarter than the system that is trying to extract every dollar from your paycheck. It is about recognizing that more income doesn't automatically mean more security, and that the best financial defense is living below your means, not at them. If this opened your eyes to something you've been feeling but couldn't quite articulate, do me a favor. Hit that like button so more people can see this message. Subscribe to this channel because I'm going to keep breaking down the financial traps that keep hardworking people broke, and share this with someone who needs to hear it, because I guarantee you know someone stuck in this exact trap who thinks they're the only one struggling. You are not failing at money. The system is designed to make you feel like you are. But now you know better, and knowing better means you can do better. Let's get to work.